Ah, the delightful Big Valley, the northernmost territory of West Elizabeth. This is a glorious land, especially for those in the ranching business. The only real risk involved in being out here is the fact that you may or may not be eaten by a bear. However, over the course of the main story, Big Valley also becomes home to the O'Driscolls, who set up shop at Hanging Dog Ranch. But by the epilogue, Big Valley is home to another gang entirely, and today's video is all about them. The Laramie Gang, otherwise known as the Laramie Corporation, or as I like to refer to them, soon to be dead. So gather around the campfire, friends, because we're going to be finding out as much as we can about the Laramies, because that is what you've come to this video for. Or at the very least I hope it is. The first time we encounter the Laramie Gang is during the first mission of the epilogue. John, Abigail and Jack are headed to Strawberry to look for work. Abigail finds work cleaning out a doctor's surgery, and John transporting goods to Pronghorn Ranch, which is run by a man named Michael Geddes. Upon John's arrival, it doesn't take long for this ranch's problem to rear its ugly head.
Mr. Geddes?
No, sir. I'm Mr. Dickens, his overseer.
Jim Milton. I'm delivering some supplies from the store in Strawberry.
Okay.
This is quite a place.
Yes, it's beautiful.
They send everything?
Yeah, I think so.
So, partner, your boss, he looking for hands?
Why? You looking for work?
Yeah. My wife, we was in business with her family and turned sour. It's a long story.
Yeah, I don't know. Married hands. It's a lot of trouble.
I'm a good worker. My wife, Agatha, even our boy, Lancelot. We'll all work.
Big man around, boy? Get the hell out of here. Now, that ain't very neighborly. And threatening us is neighborly?
Hey, mind if I enjoy one of these apples?
Put that down.
Delicious.
Oh, when's boss man gonna sell this place, boy?
I don't think there's any plans for that.
You boys want a drink? It's some fine Scotch whiskey.
Put that down. Put that down.
Oh, these supplies for the season.
Get off the farm.
Come on, we know when we're not wanted.
Get down from there.
These two menaces rock up and steal John's wagon, attempting to steal Pronghorn Ranch's supplies in order to bully Mr. Geddes in selling his land. Of course, John retrieves his wagon without a problem.
Oh, shit! This one's got a stone?
Upon retrieving the wagon, the bandits say, "Tell Geddes to take the offer off Mr. Abel or we get a whole lot more funny." I had to say that because I couldn't hear the dialogue, but I could read the subtitles. So we know these boys are here attempting to strong-arm Mr. Geddes into selling his land to this Mr. Abel. Upon returning, here's what Mr. Dickens has to say.
Thank you. Milton, isn't it? Those boys are out of Laramie, work for Mr. Abel. Thank you.
Don't mention it.
What we learn is Pronghorn Ranch has had this problem with the boys out of Laramie for a while. John smooth talks his way into a job, so I'd imagine we'll see them again. They may not be particularly capable lads, but they have no clue who they're fucking with in John Marston. Before we continue with the story interactions with the Laramie boys, we can also pick up a newspaper from Strawberry that gives us a better idea of who we're dealing with. It reads, "Small farms disappearing, swallowed by large cattle interests. Laramie Corporation offering buyouts." A sense of unease and uncertainty has arisen among landowners as a wave of real estate speculation is sweeping through cow country and large cattle outfits are offering large sums for small ranches. Headed by Abel Atherton, the Cattle Association seems intent on remaking the West, having recently acquired Hanging Dog Ranch and a considerable number of acres around Strawberry. Property agents from the Laramie Corporation are visiting small farm owners offering large sums under their new economic model. While opponents say a way of life is perishing, others argue that America is a country of progress and those clinging to the homesteader ideal are firmly stuck in the past. Scale, they say, will always win out. Abel Atherton appears to have acquired Hanging Dog Ranch at some point prior to 1907, which used to be a stronghold for the O'Driscoll gang, and is now the base of operations for the Laramie Gang. So the Laramie Corporation, visiting small farms and offering buyouts, appear to be the very same company that these thugs are a part of. And from what we've seen of their methods so far, it appears as if this newspaper article is leaving out crucial details. If the Laramie Corporation wants your land, then they are going to do everything possible to get it. And so far we've seen them send thugs to bully the landowners into selling. Our next story encounter with the Laramies, we meet them on Pronghorn Ranch, causing yet more trouble during the mission Old Habits.
You hear that? He don't like trespassers. That's what I said.
Well, does he like dead bodies on his property?
No, now, come on, mister.
Tell your friend, Mr. Geddes, he's gonna sell this place.
Only thing he needs to decide is what he loses before he sells.
Oh, I'm real frightened of you.
Whoa! You want to watch your mouth, boy. You will be the first one we kill.
Leave him alone.
Oh, careful, boys. Careful.
Yeah.
Look at this tough guy.
Get out of here.
Oh, fancy pants Geddes paying you to be tough for him, huh?
No, he's paying me to keep the place clean.
Oh.
Said he had some problems with vermin.
Oh, listen to this. Real funny.
The Laramies are back causing trouble, and they don't even try to hide the fact that they're attempting to strong-arm Mr. Geddes into selling the farm, and they will abuse anybody on site if it means they get closer to that objective. They're pretty typical thugs, they don't have an ounce of respect or maturity amongst them, and as you can imagine, John pretty much lays them out with ease. The others refer to the guy John's fighting presently as Boss, leading me to believe that he's the ringleader of this particular appendage of the Laramie Corporation's operations. And like I said this time around, John humbles the guy pretty easily, as they're not the most threatening of enemies.
Get off that man! Get off!
He hit me first.
Oh, you can fight, boy. I'll give you that. Well, how's your wife in the brawl?
Leave my wife alone.
Oh, she's real pretty.
Get out of here!
Oh, quite a temper you got. Imagine you're frustrated with your lot in life, married to a shit-shoveling farmhand. What'd you do wrong to end up here?
Leave my wife alone.
Welcome to Big Valley, Jim Milton. Pleasure to meet you both. We'll see you again. And you, boy, tell Mr. Geddes we called. We'll be back.
The next time the Laramie Gang show up at Pronghorn Ranch, they escalate their illegal tactics to Pronghorn Ranch's breaking point. As seen in the mission, Jim Milton rides again.
Hell was that?
What are you doing?
My job, Abigail. Lock this door behind me. Don't open it unless you know it's me.
Jim, you've got to do something. Two of them by the stall. They got Tom.
It's over. It's a rich man.
Who's this?
New hand.
You know that offer?
They've killed Mr. Tolbert, and they've stolen my goddamn cattle. You men okay?
I think so.
Jim Milton saved my life. It's Mr. Abel.
Yeah, of course, it's Mr. Abel. I can't believe he thinks he can scare me out of here.
Then I guess we're getting your cattle back,
I guess
sir.
we are. Can you go too, Tom?
Of course, sir.
All right, Jim. I know you can handle yourself.
A little.
Go get your guns and head out.
Guns.
Oh, don't play coy with me, son. We need your help. I don't care what you used to do or what your name is. This is the land of second chances.
Understood.
Okay.
Let me in, it's me.
What was it?
Mr. Geddes' cattle was taken.
I'm sorry to hear that. What are you doing in that thing?
Mr. Geddes been real good to us.
What are you doing?
My job, Abigail. My goddamn job.
The Laramie Gang stole Mr. Geddes' cattle and murdered Mr. Tolbert in the process. And now, we're heading to Hanging Dog Ranch to kill them all and steal the cattle back. And like I said earlier, the Laramie Gang truly had no idea who they were fucking with.
That's the place up ahead.
There's our cows. A couple guards out front. A couple more around the side, I imagine. Let's get a closer look. Let's go. Yeah, there's plenty of guards. I'm gonna head straight in. Yep. Tom, you head up there and try and give us some cover. Abe, you're gonna try and flank the place and come in from the back. I'll give you a minute or two, then I'm heading in.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hey! Hey! You boys been coming up to Pronghorn. I thought I'd come down here. You're all so tough. Come have a word with me.
You here to cut a deal? You're too late, partner.
I'm here for our cattle. And to teach some manners to all. I tried being reasonable. We're shooting it.
Hell, Jim, you can shoot!
I ain't got time to look after you, kid.
I'm okay. Look, you're in the barn!
Jim Milton!
Look out, Tom. Let me deal with this.
That damn Geddes! I meant to be... Who is this fella?
Let's end this Pronghorn problem. They're here now, let's deal with them. Where the hell did you learn that? They walked in. Do it now. Hey, Jim! Look out! More of them!
Jim Milton, you son of a bitch! I see you, Milton. You're gonna be sorry for what you done.
Seems the ringleader of this particular group of the Laramies is in the barn, challenging us to a bit of a scrap, so let's not disappoint him.
Piss stinking, shit shoveling, backwoods, sacker, no good, trash. You know that woman of yours got the look of a woman ain't had a real ride in her life. She's gotta make do with some piss-poor stinking farmhand. Hey, tell her I'll let her in my sheets. Long as she bathes first in sheep dip, get the stink of you off of her. Farmhand!
More or less single-handedly, albeit with a little assistance from Abe and Mr. Dickens, John pretty much kills every member of the Laramie Gang, which no doubt will dissuade them from further attempting to strong-arm Pronghorn Ranch into selling to the Laramie Corporation. While they appear to work for the Laramie Corporation, what we've learnt about the Laramie Gang is that they are just outlaws like anybody else. However, they were no match for John Marston himself, and I can't imagine Abel Atherton being particularly pleased at all the corpses on his ranch. That being said, he never actually shows up in the game, so I think it's safe to assume that this assault on Hanging Dog Ranch saves Pronghorn Ranch from the grasp of the Laramie Corporation. And this is the last that we see of the Laramies in the main story, and everybody is grateful.
Hey, you're back. You did real well, Mr. Milton. This man can really fight. Saved the whole place.
Ah, that weren't nothing.
Well...
You you saved my life.
No need to say nothing, sir. Just doing my job. Now, I don't think they'll be back tonight, but how about, Abe? Just in case you stay up.
Yep.
You see anything or hear anything, you fire that rifle 3 times.
3 times.
We'll all come running.
Will do.
This final cutscene suggests there are more Laramies out there, or at least there could be. Well, if we return to Hanging Dog Ranch at a later date, we discover that more Laramie boys have set up shop there.
Hell, I remember this bastard and his day.
There's not really much to it besides from we can terminate them again, though we can't really learn anything else here, but it's always good to kill these wannabe outlaws who aren't actually that good at being outlaws. And if there is anything you can take away from this, it's that the Laramie Corporation is resourceful enough to keep hiring thugs in order to carry out their dirty work and strong-arm independent ranchers off of their land. I presume that would be so they can monopolise local farming and charge as much as they want for the produce, but the real motivation behind this is never actually explained. In the town of Strawberry though, we can also begin a bounty mission to hunt down a member of the Laramie Gang, and it yields plenty of information for us to sink our teeth into. The individual in question is Bart Kavanaugh, who is wanted dead or alive for assault, intimidation, and the wanton destruction of property, and was last seen near Gnarly Rock.
Bart Kavanaugh. He's one of them boys down from Laramie. They say they businessmen chasing up land deals, but I know higher guns when I see him.
Laramie? I'm acquainted with some of those fellas.
Yeah, Mayor's got a strange tolerance, but this one's gone too far. He's up north of here, the other side of the mountain.
Sheriff Farley explains to us that the mayor of Strawberry has a strange tolerance towards the Laramie boys, and if you question him further, he explains that we're hunting this one down as an example to the rest. However, it's fascinating that in the grand scheme of things, the law is willing to turn a blind eye to the Laramie Gang's actions in the region, or at the very least have been instructed to do so by the mayor of Strawberry, which is peculiar. Anyway, we find Bart Kavanaugh and his men passed out drunk, which is the perfect opportunity for a bounty hunter like us to strike.
Damn gut rot. Oh.
Bart Kavanaugh. Is that your sorry face?
What? Who's that? What the hell's going on? You're gonna get a bullet for every one of these boys! Oh, I can't wait to kill you. Don't know who you think I am, but I ain't done nothing! What kind of coward ambushes a fella in his sleep?
Thanks for making it so easy for me. Wish they was all as dumb as you.
Anything happens to me, you're a dead man. Ain't you heard of the Laramies?
Oh yeah, we've met.
They'll get me out, and when they do, we're real good at finding people.
I really couldn't feel less intimidated by you, Bart.
Ugh, my stomach's turning something rotten. Can you take it easy?
Nope.
I really don't feel good.
And I really couldn't care less.
I think I'm going to be sick.
Spill any of your guts on my horse, I'll spill yours on the ground. I'm just as fine taking you in dead.
That's better.
Keep it shut.
Oh, God, no. This boot's wet. It's coming back to me now. Sock full of piss. Worst day of my life.
And you saved the worst for last.
Getting drunk whilst wanted by the authorities is an interesting one. Everything so far points to the Laramies being little more than thugs who aren't actually that capable when it comes to being hired guns. Sure, they can shoot, they can ride, they can kill, but in the end of the day, their danger comes through people fearing them rather than outstanding capability in any of these areas. And as John Marston points out, Bart Kavanaugh is not intimidating in the slightest, and when he's saying this, he also means the Laramies aren't intimidating in the slightest.
You're real lucky I was indisposed.
Yeah, I can only imagine you at your sharpest.
Come on, don't do this. Let's work something out.
You're all right, boy. Someone's here to see you, Sheriff.
Bart Kavanaugh. Put him down in one of the cells.
You know who I am, Sheriff? You know who's protecting me? I hope you're sweating, because you're going to feel it for this.
It's your boss who got you brought in, you dumb bollock. Now shut up.
This line stuck with me since the first time I did this bounty hunt, and that is that according to Sheriff Farley, the Laramie Gang's boss is who had us bring in Bart Kavanaugh. Now, does that refer to the mayor or Abel Atherton? I'm not entirely sure. We'll return to that in a minute.
This is the worst mistake you ever made.
Money's there. I'm gonna take some comfort in seeing at least one of them Laramie boys meet justice.
It seems as if Strawberry has something of a strange tolerance towards the Laramie boys, and immediately after completing this bounty hunt, the sheriff tells us the mayor doesn't want bounty hunters in his town anymore, basically. And considering the Laramie Gang's boss has influence on the actions of the law against the Laramie Gang, it would appear as if the Laramie Corporation has a bit of a close working relationship with the town of Strawberry, much to the behest of the sheriff. As far as we can tell, that boss is Abel Atherton, whether or not that's by hiring the Laramie Gang or if he just has stakes in the Laramie Corporation. Regardless, he appears to have a working relationship with Mayor Timmins of Strawberry, who then encourages the law enforcement in his town to turn a blind eye to the Laramie's wrongdoings. The mayor in himself is a suspicious character, and many NPCs can be heard discussing how strange he actually is, and while that may be tethered to a separate story, we can also meet him trying to oversell the idealism of Strawberry, almost like it's a charade. And so it wouldn't be surprising in the slightest if Mayor Nicholas Timmins is corrupt and in bed with the Laramie Corporation one way or another, which would explain why the Laramie Gang can operate so freely in Big Valley and are only hunted by the authorities or bounty hunters when an example has to be made. Though, Strawberry turning a blind eye to the Laramie Gang's actions in the area could also be the mayor turning a blind eye to it, because dealing with it would be bad optics for his perfect town. Though that wouldn't exactly explain why the sheriff told Bart Kavanaugh that his boss had him brought in. It's also entirely possible that, considering the Laramie Corporation has bought so much land near Strawberry, the town of Strawberry is just as vulnerable to the Laramie Gang as the rest of Big Valley, which may prey on Mayor Timmins' pacifist approach, which may be all that Abel Atherton will need to ensure that the law of Strawberry stays out of Laramie business. Now, what are the Laramie Gang a reference to? That's the question. Well, Laramie refers to various locations within the state of Wyoming, including a city, a county, a river, and a mountain range, and the gang's characteristics and actions in the game, that being intimidation, violent assault, vandalism, and most importantly, the occasional murder, may be a nod to gunmen hired by large ranches during the early 1890s in Wyoming's Johnson County War, which has been popular inspiration for various Western novels, films, and television shows. Therefore, the Laramie Corporation may be a reference to the Wyoming Stock Growers Association, which was a powerful economic and political force during this time period, and the association often hired groups of gunmen to eliminate cattle rustlers, but also to attack and intimidate small farms and independent ranches. And so, this entire situation we find ourselves in the epilogue of Red Dead Redemption 2, is all a little bit of a nod to the Johnson County War in Wyoming. So in conclusion, the Laramie Gang are guns hired by the Laramie Corporation to attack and intimidate small farms and also protect Laramie Corporation's interests, such as protecting Mr. Abel's ranch at Hanging Dog from cattle rustlers, and their big corporation backing allows this gang to operate without the law breathing down their necks. The gameplay purpose for existing is to be a quick and cheap replacement to the O'Driscolls, and as one final thing, their gang photo depicts them as being in New Austin. However, the Laramies are never in New Austin, which makes me think that this is a bit of a developer oversight, but to me it makes me think they're just hired guns and they could be sent literally anywhere. Or at least they could have been, but we've murdered every last one of them. They don't go very far now. And yeah, that's kind of it. There isn't actually that much, if anything else, about them. So thank you for watching this video on the Laramie Gang. I really do hope that you've enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends and all that wonderful stuff. That would be awesome. And if you feel like whacking that notification bell on, be my guest. And of course, with any luck, I'll be seeing you all very soon with another video at some point. But until next time, please do take care and goodbye. Blep.
The day is done, time has come. You battled hard, the war is won. You did your worst, you tried your best.